Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provisions of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10.
The question is that all the business on today's order paper be exempted from the provisions of paragraph 2 of Standing Order 10. Those in favour say aye, those against say no. Ayes have it.
Statements by Ministers none. Public Bill, second reading.
Honourable Dhunoo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, to start, I would like to congratulate the Prime Minister, Honourable Pravin Kumar Jagnnath, and the Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Honourable Ranganathan Padayachhi, for this socialist budget presented during this difficult economic conjuncture where the country is gripped between the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic and the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. With limited maneuver, the Minister has been able to present a budget that has indeed catered for almost all segments of the population, along with introducing key measures that will drive salient sectors of the economy, thereby ensuring that Mauritius becomes greener and safer. Mr. Speaker, sir, the gross domestic product for the year 2022 is expected to exceed the pre-pandemic level, reaching 520 billion with a growth of 6.15% according to the IMF forecast. Mr. Speaker, sir, the GDP growth rate is 2.55 points above the global GDP growth. When compared with the sub-Saharan Africa with a projected growth of 3.8%, Mauritius still stands ahead in terms of growth. With the different measures announced in the budget, among which include a prime à l'emploi, creation of some 8,353 employment in the public sector, and the recruitment of some 2,000 employees at the Mauritius Facilities Limited, employment rate is expected to decrease from 9.5% to 7.8%. Generating employment is not only a way of generating livelihood for the nation, along with the income effect on the economy, but also an approach to ensure that social stability and well-being, self-sufficient and less dependent on sport, especially for products that can instead be produced locally. Mr. Speaker, sir, in this budget, the agro-processing park at Anyeta and food processing cluster at Rivière-du-Rempart will generate an investment of 200 million each from the DBM. Moreover, the Integrated Modern Agricultural Morcellement scheme is a modern agricultural concept encouraging smart agriculture and generating employment. All these schemes announced for the agribusiness industry will definitely give a brand new architecture to the sector, boosting productivity and making us less dependent on imports. Mr. Speaker, sir, this budget, as already mentioned by the Minister, is driven by investment, and investment through higher level of self-sufficiency measures, investment in social welfare through construction of social housing, private sector investment, investment in infrastructure, technology and skills, and investment in building a resilient economy. Investment being a key driver for economic development is expected to linger around 21.2% of GDP, increasing by 2 basis points over its preceding year, with FDI being around 20 billion rupees. Mr. Speaker, sir, imports of meat have been weighing high on our panier ménagère, with frozen beef increasing from 264 kg in January 2020 to 357.61 in May 2022, and frozen mutton from 350 rupees kg to 531 rupees kg. Subsidizing prices on meat would have meant a strategy that would not have been as effective as inducing investment in the sector. The government is right in implementing sustainable measures where the investment in 5 livestock zones will increase the production of meat and dairy products, and the scheme being implemented will act as incentive to further expand the sector, therefore encouraging local production. As a former staff of the Small Farmers Welfare Fund, I can tell you that these measures mentioned have been welcomed by the farming community at large. So many measures that have been received. I have received many messages, Mr. Speaker, sir, from the farming community to thank the Prime Minister, Honorable Pravin Kumar Jagannath, our Minister of Finance, Dr. Payadashi, and our Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Manish Gobin. I will not continue to elaborate on these measures, as the Minister on Monday has well explained the measures and the 3 billion allocated to the farming community. If we take one measure and we need to talk about the benefit of zero budget of natural farming, we can talk a whole day, Mr. Speaker, sir, on the benefit to our health, to the fauna and flora, and its contribution to a healthy earth. It will also contribute to lower cost of production for the planter with the use of biofertilizer and biopesticide. Mr. Speaker, sir, sustainable development has been high on the government agenda, with the objective to achieve 60% of its energy production through renewable sources by 2030, with a phasing out of coal energy production by 2025. In line with same, the Green Transformation Package is expected to contribute an additional 200 megawatts of electricity by 2025, contributing around 40% of the energy through hybrid renewable sources, electrification of vehicle fleets, energy demand management, and transition towards a carbon-neutral manufacturing sector. Moving to inflation, the loss in purchasing power that the opposition has been brewing upon, I would like to emphasize that the monthly CHG retirement benefit of 1,000 rupees for the above 65 years old and the 1,000 increase in pension for the over 60 years old and the prima l'emploi, the increased support under social aid, the reduced income tax rate for individuals earning less than 50,000 rupees will boost the disposable income of individuals in the lower income bracket to help with the rise of the cost of living. With regards to the 200 rupee voucher to be spent on arrival at the Mauritius duty-free paradise, it is very much in line with international concepts that are prevailing at various airports. For example, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Abu Dhabi duty-free offers a spend and win promotion with cash voucher. Moreover, the Mumbai duty-free revived its flagship Mumbai duty-free is now free campaign in a digital guise as it seeks to rekindle the spirit of duty-free shopping. The campaign offered customers spending above $65 and above discount vouchers worth more than 4 times that value, which amount to $260. Moving to the social aspect of the budget, the government is very much engaged towards the construction of social housing projects, where some 12,000 families will be provided with a decent home. Honorable Usman Moabed on Monday is criticizing the social housing of this government, the social housing project of this government. My colleague, the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Obigadu, will be beyond the expectation in construction and the delivering of the 12,000 houses before the end of our term, as such big project. C'est pas construire un château de sable dans une journée, Monsieur le Président. Il y a un travail à faire à l'arrière. Il y a les terrains à trouver. Nous avons 20 circonscriptions. Mais we will ensure that people who are in real need get those houses, not as certain members of the opposition who gave NHDC houses even to minors. I will also request the Deputy Prime Minister, when doing the inauguration, to invite Honorable Usman Moabed, who like to take pictures on all the government projects. I would make a special request to the Deputy Prime Minister. Furthermore, the home loan scheme will now be extended where those contracting a loan to construct their residence benefit from a refund of 5% of the loan amount, up to a maximum of 500 rupees, Mr. Speaker, sir. 500,000 rupees, Mr. Speaker. We are also now empowering women to be an owner of a house. Nowadays, with exemption of a registration duty for first-time buyers. They will also benefit the home ownership scheme and home loan scheme, though they are married under the régime co et bien. Monsieur le Président, même si vous êtes marié séparation des biens, avant, avec le home loan scheme et les schemes qu'ils avaient, vous ne bénéficiez pas du first-time registration. Parce que soit l'époux a déjà une maison, la femme, même s'il est marié séparation du bien, il ne peut pas bénéficier de ce scheme. Mais là, on vient de réguler ça. Et là, les dames aussi, ils pourront avoir une maison. Mr. Speaker, sir, coming to my constituency, number 17, Cupip Midlands, the people of my constituency join me to express our gratitude to our Prime Minister, Pravin Kumar Jagnnath, and the Minister of Finance, Economic and Planning, Dr. Padeyachi, for giving much consideration to our home. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the context of the 55th anniversary of independence, Cupip will proudly host one of the Fêtes Nationales. Healthcare and medical facilities is one key aspect in determining the quality of life in a country, and our government has recognized the importance of access for all healthcare and state-of-the-art equipment. To this effect, Cupip will have a new area health center. We thank Honorable Jagat Pal and Honorable Padeyachi for having listened to our request and that of the inhabitants of Cupip. Mr. Speaker, sir, the metro project will soon be a reality in Cupip. Efficient and modern, this state-of-the-art mode of transport facility will soon be operational in Cupip by the end of 2022. Thank you, Honorable Ganu. Thank you for the hard work you're doing. We believe that metro project, the ecosystem will undoubtedly act as a driver to spur entrepreneurship and local businesses. The whole landscape of Cupip has been uplifted and will be redynamized with the metro project. Mr. Speaker, sir, an amount of 2.8 million rupees has been earmarked for the creation and upgrading of drainage system to continue the National Flood Management Program at Cupip and their son, Forêt-Side, Dr. Bou, Okoulé, Mossel-Mandema, among others. This budget will also cater for our school and secondary school. Fund also is being provided for the construction of a gymnasium at Royal College, Cupip. As a former student of Sukhdev Bissundoya State College, I also know that Sukhdev Bissundoya State College will be provided fund for a new science laboratory. Mr. Speaker, sir, as for community development project, this budget provides the following project in our constituency. 2 new incinerators, namely at Bigara and Midlands, a new mini soccer pitch at Midland, a municipal complex in Cupip, a volleyball pitch at Residence Atli, 2 football grounds in Cupip, construction of a mini soccer pitch at La Brasserie, Forêt-Side, construction of a mini soccer pitch and outdoor gym at Commercial Lacroix Street, Forêt-Side, provision of a health track and pétanque court at Isri, Forêt-Side, provision of a public park and health track opposite of NHDC complex at Lee, multipurpose complex at Malherbe, construction of a social pitch and embellishment work at 16e Mile. Mr. Speaker, sir, the village of 16e Mile, also known as Village de la Tolérance, which was among the only villages in the district of Grapo, which did not have a village hall or a multipurpose hall, where the elected village councillors, district councillors, even the inhabitants, had either to rent a place or use the community center of the Sugar Industry Labour Welfare Fund, which is under the aegis of the Ministry of Gender. We thank Honorable Kalpana Kunjusha for taking care of the people of Cupip and of 16e Mile. And thanks to our Prime Minister and our Minister of Finance, they will now have a new multipurpose complex. The inhabitants of Sejamil, Moselman Doma, Koyolis, Moselman Subani, Cité Anushka, including the district council and village councillor, has called me yesterday to say thank you to the Prime Minister and Honorable Padeachi, who has listened to their plea and for making this a reality today. Now they will be able to use their multi-purpose complex, once constructed, for different activities including wedding, indoor games, yoga, medical checkup, among others. Mr. Speaker, sir, coming to road connectivity, last year, as announced in the budget 2021-2022, the Pont Atli, which was built some 100 years back, was proposed to be reconstructed. Thanks to this government and the minister, my dear colleague, Honorable Mahendranath Sharma Ariram, the work has been completed by the Road Development Authority. Mr. Speaker, sir, we walk the talk and we mean business. Mr. Speaker, sir, as proposed last year in the budget 2021-2022, an amount allocated for the feasibility study with regards to the construction of the Jubreuil Link Road to Melrose was announced by the Minister of Finance. This year, the Minister of Finance is providing funds to make it a reality. It will be a project that is very much in line with the road decongestion plan and would facilitate the commute of people of Jubreuil to main areas such as Port Louis, Flac, and Eben. La Vigie-La Brasserie Link Road will be completed by February 2023. A new link road connecting La Brasserie to Bossange will be constructed. Both projects, Mr. Speaker, sir, are in line with the road decongestion program. Mr. Speaker, sir, now among the 5 new flyovers that has been mentioned in the budget speech, one will be at Wotton. The project will ease the life of our citizens coming from Cupip, Wotton, Jubreuil, Midlands, Sejamil, and the south. Less time in traffic means less air pollution, and also we save Mother Earth. Mr. Speaker, sir, the housing project, which is being led by my colleague, the Deputy Prime Minister, where houses will be constructed in La Brasserie, Malherbe, Wotton, Moselman-Antenne, and 16 through the NSLD will soon become a reality. Another important measure in this budget is the reconstruction of the asbestos houses, where me and the Deputy Prime Minister and myself has done site visit in Jubreuil in connection to 25 families where they were living in very bad condition. And these 25 families will be able to have a proper housing unit and a decent house. Monsieur le Président, les taxes municipales. Dans notre manifesto électoral de 2019 pour l'Alliance mauricienne, nous avons promis un engagement pour un nouveau pacte avec le peuple, améliorer constamment la qualité de vie et le bien-être de la population. Si vous voyez dans notre manifeste, Monsieur le Président, nos engagements à cet effet ont un caractère sacré. Notre Premier ministre, l'honorable Pravin Kumar Jagnat, leader du MSM, a donné la preuve qu'il est un homme de parole qui traduit la réalité de ce qu'il promet. Parmi nos 15 mesures que nous avons annoncées pendant la campagne électorale, l'abolition de la taxe immobilière revenant aux municipalités pour les propriétaires ayant une seule maison est aujourd'hui une réalité, Monsieur le Président. Bravo encore une fois à notre Premier ministre et notre ministre des Finances. Monsieur le Président, nous devons construire ensemble pour notre patrie. But it is with deep concern and regret that I must say that members of the opposition are not able to appreciate the laudable initiative undertaken by this government. Et Monsieur le Président, il est triste, comme je l'ai dit, de constater que l'opposition ne recule devant rien pour essayer de grappiller des points politiques. Son leader a d'ailleurs essayé de faire croire que nous sommes en dictature. L'honorable Duval devrait s'écouter parler, car la seule dictature à laquelle nous sommes soumises depuis les dernières élections générales, Monsieur le Président, c'est une dictature de la pensée de la part de l'opposition. La stratégie de l'opposition consiste à systématiquement s'attaquer à tous et celles qui ne partagent pas leurs opinions, ceux qui soutiennent le gouvernement pour le travail qui est abattu dans un contexte extrêmement difficile, sont dénigrés et traités de tous les noms sur les réseaux sociaux. Ils n'hésitent pas à se cacher derrière des faux profils pour même mener leur campagne. Let me give you an example, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Wear your mask.
Let me give you an example. Depuis notre élection, l'opposition est venue dire que nous avons truqué les élections. Ils sont aussi allés vers la Cour suprême. Dans le cas de la circonscription numéro 19, où l'honorable Colin Navelou a été élu, ils ont demandé une recount. La commission électorale n'a pas objecté. La Cour les a accordé le recount. Le recount fait par le master et registrar. Il perd le recount. Pas juste le recount. Les élections au numéro 19. Le MMM aussi perd le candidat au numéro 19. Ah là là, Madame Adebiro, qui doit préférer pas de demande recount même, qui doit aller après une semaine. Mais dans ce cas précis, Monsieur le Président, nous avons vu comment la presse a été sélective. Dans le cas de l'honorable Colin Navelou, on a vu qu'il y avait beaucoup de plateaux spéciaux quand il y avait le recount. Mais à la fin, nous avons vu que l'honorable Colin Navelou a été déclaré élu pour une deuxième fois. Et nous avons gagné les élections. La Cour a dit que nous avons gagné les élections free and fair. C'est ça, free and fair. Dans le cas de mon colistier, l'honorable Bigadou, et moi-même, nous avons une pétition pour le recount par le candidat Adrien Duval, fils du leader de l'opposition et du PMSD, le petit coq. Vous savez, Monsieur le Président, ce qui s'est passé? La Cour suprême a rejeté tous les points de leur pétition. À cœur pipe, dans notre cas, pas de plateau spécial, même pas un petit mot dans le week-end. Pour vous dire, une presse indépendante. Vous savez, Monsieur le Président, ce qui dérange l'opposition, c'est comment le Premier ministre, Pravin Kumar Jagnat, a pu gagner les élections avec des jeunes ministres au cabinet, des jeunes PPS, 10 madames au Parlement. Ils ne peuvent pas digérer cela, Monsieur le Président. Et c'est pour cela qu'ils agissent ainsi. Et nous avons une équipe qui travaille nuit et jour. Et we have given result, comme je disais dans PMSD, résultat. Nous-mêmes qui donnons résultat. Cela, Monsieur le Président, ce qui les dérange aussi, Monsieur le Président, même avec le Covid, l'épisode Wakasio, la guerre en Ukraine, notre île Maurice sur la liste noire, le gouvernement, avec le Premier ministre, a continué de travailler sans relâche pour le programme que l'Alliance mauricienne a présenté à la population. Never, Mr. Speaker, sir, since independence, a Prime Minister had to deal with a pandemic, the worst economic crisis, the war between Ukraine and Russia, and as I said yesterday by Honorable Tilak, a Prime Minister leading by example. We had been through, and our Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, and the Minister of Financial Services has been recognized internationally pour retirer Maurice dans un temps record sur la liste noire. Et j'étais à Strasbourg avec comme je représente le gouvernement, le comité paritaire, dans le Parlement paritaire, et on a eu une demande d'apprendre de l'île Maurice comment faire pour qu'on puisse s'engager pour que d'autres pays qui sont sur la liste noire, qu'ils puissent apprendre de Maurice comment y faire. Et je suis sûr que notre gouvernement va collaborer et je suis sûr que le ministre Siratan et le ministre des Finances, l'honorable Padiachi, fera le nécessaire pour aider nos autres amis de l'Afrique, Caraïbes et Pacifique. Monsieur le Président, mais vous dire, ils peuvent faire ce qu'ils veulent, mais la population n'est pas dupe. Elle a vu à l'œuvre un gouvernement sous le leadership du Premier ministre. Elle sait que nous ne céderons pas face à la démagogie de l'opposition. Le Premier ministre et le ministre des Finances l'ont encore une fois démontré avec la présentation du budget 2022-2023. Monsieur le Président, les mesures dévoilées par l'honorable ministre des Finances sont révélatrices de la philosophie de ce gouvernement, c'est-à-dire de toujours placer l'humain au centre du développement. Avec le peuple, pour le peuple, nous resterons contre vent et marée. Et il ne fait aucun doute, le docteur Ranganathan Padiachi entrera dans l'histoire comme un ministre des Finances au grand cœur en or pour les plus vulnérables. Comme un ancien employé du Board of Investment de l'Africa Center of Excellence et ma passion pour mon continent, cela me réjouit, Monsieur le Président, de voir le couronnement de l'honorable Dr Padiachi comme ministre des Finances de l'Afrique de l'année décrété par l'Africa Leadership Magazine en dite longue sur son cheminement en faveur des plus démunis de notre société. Je le redis, Monsieur le Président, il y a une différence entre notre philosophie et celle de l'opposition. Nous travaillons pour le peuple, eux, lorsqu'ils étaient au pouvoir, ils travaillaient contre le peuple. C'est pourquoi ils ont été envoyés dans la poubelle de l'histoire et la population verra à ce qu'il y reste. Mr. Speaker, sir, however, our government is fully committed and we do not allow ourselves to be distracted by their constant demagogy and their charade. It is not time for blame game, but it is time to build together our economy et de faire île Maurice briller comme l'étoile et la clé de l'océan Indien. Mr. Speaker, sir, to conclude, I would like to reiterate our full commitment and dedication to work for the people of our motherland. We pledge to graduate our motherland to the next level of sophistication and innovation. We commit that the principle of law and order and the rule of law is always enshrined. We commit that to continuously work toward the upgrading of people's standard of living and always improve their quality of life. As one people, as one nation, we will be building together our motherland with the people, for the people. Thank you, Mr. President.